Knife Show 19. Here we go. Everything's pretty. This is beautiful.
Greg.
What?
What are you doing?
Dude, welcome back. How you doing?
I'm doing good.
So, here, let me get out of your chair. I got the knives. I got this. I got everything. I got your phone. We got the mic.
Greg, this is really uncomfortable.
You want a different chair? No, it's not uncomfortable.
Corbin's here.
When's Corbin coming in?
He's here. He's there. He is.
Corbin,
Right
how
there.
you doing,
Yeah.
bud?
So that's where Corbin's gonna sit for today.
Where am I going to sit?
That was awkward.
Welcome to the party, boys. Live life, though.
What is happening, everybody? TC here with Smoky Mountain Knife Works, SMKW.com. Today I'm joined by Corbin Lovins. My man Corbin. How's it going, buddy?
Oh, pretty good. Happy to be here. Dude.
Absolutely. Thank you for joining us, and welcome to your first knife show.
I know. I've watched so many, and I have always wanted to be a part of it, so I'm very happy to be a part of it today.
Well, we are...
No problem, bud.
We are super excited, and we've got a really cool knife show. I'm glad to be back. It's been crazy. It's been hectic, but we're back at it, and we're gonna be doing this. So, guests on that knife show are gonna be swapping up all the time. It's nothing against Greg. Greg does an awesome job, and I love Greg. And Greg is actually behind the camera right now, handing stuff over. And first and foremost, we've got an announcement from the last knife show. Corbin just picked a winner at random. He picked a number at random out of a hat, and that was associated with Timothy Gray. So Timothy Gray, viewer that commented on that last video, you're the winner of that Griffin pocket tool, along with a ton of patches and stickers. So you got a free Griffin pocket tool and a ton of patches and stickers. Timothy Gray, get in touch with us. We're going to send this right out to you. So congratulations to him. And we've got some really cool stuff, a lot of new stuff. And not really a lot of news. I mean, yeah, there's a lot of news going on in the world right now.
Oh, yeah.
Sweet Jesus. But politics is not our game. We're here to talk about knives. We've got some on the table, and those are the ones that matter to us right now. So we're going to dive right in. We've got some really cool stuff. We've also got our picks, and we've got a lot of new stuff to go over here. And I'm not really sure where to start. Let's go ahead and start with this one, and we're going to call this our knife of the week here. So we released this one last week, and this is our exclusive from Medford. This is the Smooth Criminal Auto.
Ooh.
So pops right out there. We did have our Smooth Criminal there at the beginning of the year there with the flipper, but now we've actually got it in the auto version, and this one's really cool. So these are coming in. We've got 23 different models, 4 different handle colors, PVD coated. And that one's coming in from anywhere from $375 to $415, based on the handle and the actual hardware coating and the blade coating. So anywhere from $375 to $415 to get in on a Medford auto. That's pretty impressive.
That's pretty nice.
And S45 VN blade steel.
Goodness.
And really, really cool materials there. So check those out. We've got the link in the description below on those. And really digging. I mean, the aluminum handles with the deep anodized. The
Electrolysis.
Yeah. Not
Beautiful.
on those. So that's a really great knife. Definitely check those out. Another new one that we finally got in the store here, and we're really excited to have this one. Now, we've had this one available online, but we haven't been able to keep it in the store. I finally nabbed one and transferred it into our department just so that it wouldn't sell out. But that's that new CRKT CEO Flipper Compact. And I'm really digging this thing. I mean, of course, the CEO is insanely popular anyways. Right. And I want to see you flip that thing and see what you think about that.
Do you really think Corbin's going to have any trouble flipping things?
I have no issues flipping everything.
That thing's really cool. And you know what? I like how CRKT is doing that. If I could get my... there we go. I like how they're doing that kind of color on all of their compact models. So a very similar color to the compact Provoke that they came out with last year, and very similar color to the handle scales there, and really digging that thing. And of course the CEO has been insanely popular, and to make it in a compact model and you still get 4 fingers on that thing.
Still get 4 fingers. You have a pocket clip. It's got a flipper tab. I mean, you can have a swedge on a knife like this. It looks just really good.
Yeah.
CRKT, you know it's going to be good quality.
Deep carry, reversible pocket clip. That one's coming in at only $44.99. So great deal on that one there. Coming in with 4116 German stainless steel, Richard Rogers design. Just a killer knife right there. I really dig that thing. And like I said, we haven't been able to keep them in stock. So you might want to get your hands on one while you can, because those things go extremely fast. We got like 6 of them in stock on the showroom floor. They sold out in one day. And we get some more over from our warehouse, but they're not staying in stock online very long either. So those are selling out super quick. And we'll keep going on that CRKT train. We've got the new Speck. So I believe it was 2 years ago they came out with the SPE. 1 or 2 years ago they came out with the SPE, and this one is the Speck. So a nice little cleaver right there. Neck knife comes set up as a neck knife. You can also do it as like a belt carry. You can do it as a scout carry. The sheath here has like universal mounting for like an ulti clip or something like that. But that's a really cool knife. Speck standing for small pocket everyday cleaver. Yeah. And that one features a 2.44-inch 8CR13 MOV stainless steel cleaver blade with the bead blast finish. It is a full tang fixed blade. Has the black and gray marble G10 handles, and black coated stainless steel hardware and black braided cord lanyard. And those lanyards are really cool. I love it's the same lanyard that they put on all of their minimalist, and it also includes the black thermoplastic sheath with the belt loop as well. Now, like I said, that's going to be a universal mounting for like an ulti clip or something like that, which is, I mean, what I really like. It makes it easier that way you don't have to like thread the belt through it or whatever.
Yeah.
But really cool knife right there. Really dig that thing.
I'm definitely a fan of the grip on this. I mean,
yeah. It's nice and grippy.
The texture.
Yeah.
I love it. And then the bead blast finish on a blade is always gorgeous. And that it's a full tang. I mean,
yeah.
You can't go wrong.
And that cleaver style, it's been so popular from the minimalist, and now in this, it's a little bit bigger, a little bit longer than the minimalist version. I'm digging that thing. I think it's really cool looking. And of course, like when you whip that thing out, like it catches a lot of attention. Like,
yeah.
You pull that sucker out, and everybody's like, "What in the world? What are you, a cook?
Yeah.
What?" Yeah, Alan Foltz does an incredible job with all of his designs, and really dig that stuff. So that's the new CRKT Speck fixed blade right there. Now, going through, we've got a bunch of new knives, and we're trying to bring them all to you in a timely manner. And a lot of times we get inundated with new stock. And then sometimes we get parts of a series, specifically as it pertains to our Rough Riders. We'll get parts of a series, but we won't get all of them in. We did a feature a few weeks ago on our new Rough Rider Faded Blue Jean Micarta series. And we just got this one in, a new addition to that series. And this is the Faded Blue Jean Micarta work knife. And wanted to show it off because not a lot of people have seen this, especially in hand, and seen how big this thing is. So it looks like a traditional work knife type design, like a case sod buster, something like that. But this thing is nice and big. It has got definitely a longer blade than a traditional sod buster. And it is also a liner lock, if you take a look at that right there. So really cool design. I'll let you take a look at that one right there. And we'll go over the specs on that puppy. So this is the Rough Rider Denim Micarta work knife. And that one's coming in at $12.99. $12.99. Talk about a good, like, gift for someone. I mean, that's an insane deal right there. Features 448 stainless steel blade with the matte strike pull, and the handles are denim micarta with the brass liners, nickel silver pins. And that one's also coming in with the orange underliners, like the rest of the faded denim micarta series. And that one's coming in with a 3.5-inch blade length, blade thickness of 0.06 inches, nice and slicey, 4.75 inches closed, and 8.5 inches overall. So a nice full-sized folding knife right there with a liner lock, but it's a traditional folder.
I was going to say, I really like the contrast of that orange underneath the blue.
It's very classic and very classy looking. Yeah. And I love what they've done with the shield on that. The double R shield. And it doesn't sit proud. It sits nice and flush there. I think they've done a phenomenal job with that.
Oh, yeah. I mean, I've got little hands, but I mean, that fits pretty well. I'd work with it for sure.
Absolutely. And with 448, you know, some people like it, some people don't, but that's going to be one that's going to be easy to strap up. And like once it gets dull, it's going to go dull a little bit faster than like a premium blade steel, but it's going to be easier to sharpen and get back to a nice sharp edge and get back to work with it. So really like that thing. And those things have been really popular. And we wanted to give you guys a chance to see that one there and to show that off. Yeah. So
close another man's knife.
That's right. Absolutely. We did that a while back. We went over knife superstitions.
Oh, I'm all over knife superstitions, dude. My dad taught me young.
Right? Absolutely.
He'd hand me a knife and go, make sure you don't close that. Gotcha.
So another new exclusive that we've gotten in is this Boker right here. And this is the Cataclyst. Now, we've only got 2 of them here to show off, but we've actually got how many different models, Greg? Like 10 or 12?
I think it's 12 or 13.
Yeah, we've got several different models of these, and all different colors on the G10 scales. They're all frame locks, and also different colors on the blade. So some of them are coming in with a satin finish. Some of them are coming in with the PVD coating there. So I'll let you take a look at those and see what you think about those. And we'll go over the specs here on those puppies. So this is the Boker Cataclysm, and if you're familiar with it, the Boker come out with a Cataclysm, like a premium version, a couple of years ago, and they've been really popular. Well, we wanted a exclusive version and made it a little bit more affordable. So these are still frame locks, which is really cool. Coming in with the G10 scales, and we've got all kinds of different colors, from the white, jade, OD green. We've also got them in red, orange, all kinds of different colors. And then they're coming in with the coating on the blade or without. 440C on the stainless steel drop point blade. And we've also got them, like I said, in the satin finish. And this is with the jade G10 handles right there. And really digging those things. With the stainless steel on the backside.
I'm really liking the jimping on the back of the blade. I mean, that's going to be easy to push on if you need to get a little extra leverage. And then the milling on the blade, the little blood groove, you call it. That's so cool.
It is. It looks really nice. And also, I like that they've added the jimping, but also the top of the blade is crowned.
Right.
I mean, it's just another level of fit and finish that it's something that they didn't have to do machine-wise that I think really adds to the character and adds to the beauty of the knife. Right. Coming in with the deep carry pocket clip, and it's got the matching back spacer there that matches the handle material. And it also has the integrated lanyard loop as well. So, I mean, those are just really, really freaking cool. Coming in at $44.67, and I believe $48 on the coated ones, somewhere in that neighborhood. So under $50 for all of those. And I think that's a fantastic deal for a nice little flipper from Boker there. Oh, yeah. Really digging those knives. Now,
47.65.
Sweet, I was close. 47.65 on that other one.
Wow.
So, now you were talking, so before we get into this next knife, this next series of knives, rather, we were talking earlier about Mike Snody.
Yeah.
And about his history in the knife community. So talk about how you were introduced to Mike Snody.
So I was introduced to Mike Snody from a video he did a while back announcing his high rollers that he had. Of course, I'm a Bali-Song guy, so when you see the high roller, it was a larger Bali-Song. It had a longer blade, and it really grabbed your eye, and it was something that not a lot of people had, and he famously said only high rollers will have this. So it was cool to see him make that. I did not know that he was making these knives that we're about to show, but something that I follow Mike for is his machinist daily tip. He does videos every day where he gives a tip as a machinist of like, here's what you can do to save money doing this, or if you mill this way, it'll help you. If you grind this way, it'll help you. And being a knife maker myself, it's something cool to watch that kind of gives me tips along the way.
That is really cool. And that leads us into this first one. So this one right here is going to be the Snody Boss from K-Bar. And Mike Snody designed this one. And it's really cool. So it's a single grind blade. Some people refer to this as like a chisel grind because it's only ground on one side there. You'll see the grind right there on that side, but on this side it is completely flat, devoid of grind. And we've had a lot of people, because we featured this one specifically on one of our shorts, one of our daily grind videos, and we had a lot of people asking what was the purpose of that, what was the point of that. It can lend itself to a lot of different benefits as far as bushcrafting goes. The main benefit, though, is going to be that for the lesser experience, this is going to be a lot easier to sharpen.
Yeah.
And a lot of people don't even take that into account, but this is going to be so much easier to sharpen because you don't have to worry about making it even on both sides. You literally only sharpen one side, and that's all you have to worry about. And that makes it a lot easier, especially with a premium blade steel like S35VN, to sharpen that thing back up because you've only got to worry about that one side. So that really plays into his machinist tip of the day, and you know, benefits of kind of outside the norm ways of doing things. And the cool thing about these is, so he's designed these, they come with two sets of handles. So they come with the blue here, and they also come with the Reptile, and this is the Dalahala Reptile that he designed with his signature S right there. They also come with the lanyard bead right there.
Oh, that's pretty cool.
With the signature S on it, which is really, really cool. And they come with their own sheath, each individual one. So, and we've got a couple of different ones. So this is the Snody Boss, and we've also got the Big Boss here. Now this one is double ground, and this thing is a beast. That's beautiful right there. Beautiful grind work, nice wedge on the top. Gives it a lot of really cool character. And this one also, just like the Boss, the Big Boss, comes with two sets of scales right there. Comes with the Dalahala, with the S on there. Also comes with the bead. Comes with the sheath as well. And we've got one more in the series that we're going to go over in a minute because it ended up being one of my picks for this week. But I don't want to give that away until we get there.
Okay.
So the Big Boss is coming in at $139. S35VN blade steel on that one, and the Boss is coming in at $99.99. So that's an insane deal right there.
That's pretty nice, especially for S35VN. I mean,
yeah.
I was first introduced to chisel grinds when I played with my grandpa's knives. I would like whittle stuff. Something that some people don't know about these chisel grinds is if you're cutting anything, I mean, you're just going to slide down that because you have the surface ground edge here, which you could also customize to like engrave some stuff on.
Yep.
Cool stuff there. But like you said, easier to sharpen, things like that. And then, I mean, the Big Boss, you sit here and look at that blade, and that is just a gorgeous, I mean, the swedge on it itself is gorgeous. You got a nice a nice bevel, nice large bevel there. And I mean, in hand, it's big, but it's not like too big you can't carry it.
Right.
It's really nice. And for that price, an S35VN.
Oh yeah, you can't beat that at all.
No.
Absolutely not. Now, we have had some people ask, and we've been interested to see more multi-tool type knives. Mm-hmm. And I've been on a big multi-tool kick lately, finding different things of that nature. And one that really caught my eye that I'm really digging is this one by MKM. This is called the Malga. And I really like this thing. It very much reminds me a lot of like a traditional Victorinox. Mm-hmm. Obviously takes a lot of cues from a traditional Victorinox. The big difference is going to be the M390 on the blade steel. Mm. And that's a big upgrade there. And, you know, you would expect something like that to cost a lot more. But really, you're not paying a ton more. This one's going to come in at $109.90. And, I mean, you're getting all the same tools as a traditional Victorinox right there. Now, this is the Malga 6 natural canvas micarta. We've also got it in the green canvas micarta, coming in with the 2.64-inch M390 stainless steel Stonewashed drop point blade with the nail nick, natural micarta handles, and the handles feature torque screws, which makes them really easy to take apart, do maintenance on them if you need to. Comes with a corkscrew, can opener, flat screwdriver, fork, a reamer. It is 4.58 inches closed and 2.79 ounces. So nice and lightweight.
Oh, yeah.
And I really like the fact that it has a fork. I know that sounds really stupid, but like I end up searching all the time when I'm at work at one of my random jobs for a plastic fork that I might have in a bin hidden somewhere or maybe in the glove box of my car. But if I have something like this, it makes it a lot easier for me to just go ahead and have lunch.
I mean, how many times have you gone camping and you've been like, oh, I don't have any forks?
I don't have any forks, yeah. And so you're sitting there eating with your knife or something like that. Yeah,
I mean, you're never going to forget your knife. But
exactly.
Like, might forget a fork a time or two.
So I think that's a great deal, and I think it's incredibly ingenious. I love the fact that it comes in with the premium blade steel there, and I love the micarta handles. I think it looks classy, and MKM does a really good job on all of their stuff. I mean, it's just they never do a bad job on anything as far as I'm concerned. So really digging that one. And now, before we get to our picks, we've got three more that have been insanely popular here. And we got these in at the beginning of the year, and people were clamoring for them because Ontario Knife Company come out with a bunch of new releases this year that people have been wanting to see. And we got these in, and I saw them, and I felt of them before I actually saw the price. And I was like, man, those feel pretty good. Then I saw the price and was completely sold on these things. Because for a knife that you don't have to worry about losing, beating up, or something like that, $8.99 for a nice camp cook knife. And we've got there's a set of three right here, and I'll let you take a look at those and show those on camera, and we'll go over the specs on those. I mean, there's not much more to say. So $8.99 for those of you in the back. $8.99 for each one of these. We've got three different versions. We've got the Santoku, we've got the Chef, and we've got the bread knife. Which, I mean, the bread knife, I wouldn't say that it's necessarily just for bread, but these are all coming in with all coming in at 9.5 inches overall, 3.6 ounces, so nice and lightweight. They are all lockbacks and stainless steel blades. They're coming in with 4.25-inch blades and with the satin finish and the green handles. And like I said, those are insanely lightweight and very cheap. I mean, you're talking $8.99 for something that you can prepare food with. And I love the Santoku design. So one of our most popular ones last year was our Rough Ryder sous chef. Mm-hmm. And while we are supposed to be getting more of those in, we don't have an ETA on those yet. We do have them ordered. They are on the way, but we don't have them in yet. This is a great alternative to that. I mean, I love the Santoku design with the divots there in the blade, and that's going to come in really handy, especially when you're like, if you're cleaning fish that you just caught out of the river or something like that. It's not going to suck up against the blade and get stuck there. So it's going to allow you to clean those fish nice and easy. The chef's knife has a nice belly to it, so it rocks really nice. I really dig those things. What do you think about them, Corbin?
I absolutely love it. You said $8.99, and I'm like, the action on this is way better than $8.99.
Yeah.
I mean,
they're super smooth.
They're incredibly smooth, and it's got like, it feels like there's a detent at like a halfway, 3/4, so it'll pop back open if you hit the lock and so you set it here.
Yeah,
you can pop it right back. But I mean, $8.99, you can sign me up for this chef one right here. I'm a big fan.
Absolutely. And I mean, for me personally, so my fiance and I just sold our house, and we're going to be living in a camper for a little while. And this is looking like a really good option to keep in the camper, so that because I mean, we're used to living in a house, so space is going to be at a premium. Right. The things that we're only going to be able to have space for the things we absolutely need. And I'm really thinking, after looking at these, that these are going to be a really great option to keep in the camper there as utility knives, because I'm not going to be able to have a full knife block. There's not enough counter space and all that to go along with everything else that we're going to have. So I'm really thinking that those are going to be a great option for something like that.
I'd definitely pick them. I mean, I might just pick up a set and take the knife block out of the house. tell my fiance, hey, yours are pretty nice. Why don't you take the Pioneer Woman stuff and set it on the side for a minute?
Send those to me.
Yeah.
Oh, that's fantastic. That's great. That's funny. All right. So those are the new knives that we've got in right now. Now, we've got more new knives coming in each and every day. But now we're going to get into our pick. This is Corbin's first time doing that knife show, and I'm anxious to see what Corbin did with his picks. So we went over this: under 20 for a budget pick, under 100 for a mid-range pick, and then anything over 100, no limit for a high-end pick.
Yeah, so this was extremely hard because I'm in the world's largest knife store.
You don't realize how hard it is until you go to pick something out and you're like,
walking around.
Oh, I could pick that. Oh, but no, I could pick that. Oh, man.
Yeah, so then you go, do I want to like be flashy for the viewers, or do I want to stick to what I do and show off something that's like personal to me? I chose personal, even though I love how pretty Microtech stuff is, and Heretic, and I mean, the $10,000 halos down there,
right?
Insane. But for my budget this show, I chose the Victorinox, real pretty slip joint, just totally slipped my mind what the name is. But this comes out at $21.99. I went $1.99 over.
Yeah.
But
that's okay.
How can you not?
You're talking about like, and this one in particular that you got is the Bryce National Park Classic SD there.
Yes.
And I mean that's a perfect one right there. I love that for its functionality, keeping on a keychain. And one thing that I've always been a big proponent of is the scissors. Mm-hmm. You never realize how much you use or can use scissors until you actually have them on you, and then you realize, oh my God, I can't live without these now.
I tell you what, it runs in my family of having extremely bushy eyebrows. My dad looks like he has two squirrel tails on his face, and I tell him all the time, you should like get your eyebrows plucked or threaded or something. I go and get mine threaded because my fiance likes when I do, but I mean, if you have some scissors, you can just take care of it right there.
Absolutely, yeah.
Now, the reason I chose this, I chose the Bryce because I went to Zion, which is right beside Bryce in Utah, a couple months ago, and it is by far the prettiest place I've ever been. I absolutely loved it. The reason I chose Victorinox, I am a cable guy by trade. I install people's houses, not so much anymore. I'm more on the warehouse side, but I work with fiber, and the outside of fiber is an extremely hard plastic. And I have been using the same Victorinox knife for the last 5 years, and it still cuts like the day I got it, and it's super easy to sharpen. I absolutely love it, and that's why I chose it as my budget pick.
Nice. Well, I'm going to come in with my budget pick here, and I've had my eye on this one for quite a while, and that's going to be our Rough Rider Highlands, and this is the doctor's knife, and I really dig this thing. Of course, everybody knows that I really like the long pulls. I'm a sucker for them. I like the classics, and I love that clip point blade, but I also love that spatula right there. Whatever you want to use it for, I mean, I find it to be a useful tool, whether you're using it as a little pry tool or something like that. I just really dig a doctor's knife. It's nice and thin, unobtrusive, easy to slip into that fifth pocket for me, and I'm really digging that one. That one's coming in at $14.99. Can't beat that sucker right there. Really dig that one. So that's going to be my budget pick. And up next, we're going to do our mid-range picks. All right, so we're going to do mid-range picks next. So anything under $100. What do you got?
Okay, so it's not going to come as a surprise. I went personal with my stuff. And every time I'm here, you say, Corbin, what are you carrying today? Are you carrying your Revo Ness? And I go, yes, I am, TC, because I carry it every day. So I love the Revo Ness. And the reason why I love this like leaf blade. I call it a leaf blade. It's got a flipper tab on it. The carbon fiber is amazing. And then you look on the backside at those little barrel backspacers that are in it, and they're a different color. It adds a little contrast.
Yeah.
I mean, you take this out of your pocket and people are like, how much money did you spend on that?
Right.
And you know what I say? I spent, what does that say? $63.99?
Yeah.
$63.99 for this. I mean,
yeah, normally $66.50. They're on sale right now online for $63.99, and that's an insane deal.
I love it.
An insane deal, and that's a really good all around. So this is the Revo Ness carbon fiber, and I mean stainless steel liners. You're talking about D2 tool steel on that Ness muck blade, that leaf blade, and Stonewash finish. It's a manual folder with the flipper, ball bearing pivots, liner lock, milled carbon fiber handle scales there, lanyard hole. It's 4.62 inches closed, 7.99 inches overall, and weighs 4.96 ounces. And so I got to do something that Isaac and I always try to do. We always try to take knives that aren't meant to be reverse flicked and reverse flick them anyways. And that's been our challenge to each other, is to try to reverse flick knives that aren't intended for that. But it actually works pretty well with that one. That's actually really slick. And
I just love the action on it. I mean, so obviously I do work with BRS, and BRS is the sister company of Revo. But before I even knew that, I was carrying the Ness around, and I was at Blade Show, and I was talking to the CEO of BRS, and I was like, have you seen the Revo Ness? And it's like, oh, you're talking to the guy who designed it. Yeah, I've seen it. And I'm like, it's like my favorite folder. And I mean, I love it. So it's pretty obvious I'll pick it as my mid-range, but I'm excited to see what you have.
Nice. Well, for me, I've got another fixed blade, and this is the series that we were talking about earlier, the Mike Snody series, and this one is the Snake Charmer, and I'm really digging this one. I like this to wear as a neck knife, to wear as like a pocket EDC fixed blade. I could actually, now it doesn't have any kind of holes or anything like that, but I would like to actually affix this to like maybe a backpack, like a sling.
I was just thinking about that.
That kind of thing.
If you throw the sling right through here.
Absolutely, yeah. And it pulls out right there. This is S35 VN blade steel that I'm going to cut myself with. And I really dig this thing. So let's take a look at that one up close right there. I love the finger cutouts right there, the finger choils. And this one is a 2.31 inch S35 VN stainless steel drop point blade with the Stonewashed finish. It is designed by custom knife maker Mike Snody. Has the finger ring on the back side, and it also comes with braided 550 cord right here. So black with purple and green accents, which are really cool. I really dig those. Also comes with the pewter schmuckatelli bead right there. And that's a really cool bead. I'm digging that thing. So you can make a nice little lanyard bead on there. And it includes the green molded plastic sheath with the belt loop on there. Proudly made in the USA. And like I said, S35 VN blade steel. And we talked about this. This is my mid-range pick. So that means this is under $100. S35 VN blade steel, $89.99.
That's insane.
$89.99. And I really like this thing. So I like how... And you see a lot of guys pick these, whether it's a karambit or not, with the ring on the handle there. You can actually affix this to a vest or even like a backpack like that. That way, when you get it and pull it out, you've got it in your hand like that, so you can use it as a self-defense tool as well, not just as a fixed blade knife. So it works really well either way you want to do it. And can be a great utility, but can also be a great self-defense tool.
And something
I really dig that thing.
We didn't really talk about is this sheath, I guess you could call it. On the backside, it's going to hold it in well. I mean, I sit here and try to pull it apart. It's not coming. So having it on a backpack, you're not going to have to worry about losing it.
It's not going to fall out of there.
Right. You have to kind of push this little tab and then pull it up at the same time in order to get it out.
Yeah.
I mean...
It is extremely secure.
Yeah.
And it snaps in there really nice.
I'm a big fan of that.
Really like how secure that thing is. So that's my mid-range pick right there. Mike Snody K-Bar. Snake Charmer.
Right. Alrighty.
Up next is going to be our high-end picks. High-end picks. So, what do you got for your high-end pick?
Alrighty, I'm here to surprise you.
You're here to surprise me?
Yep, so you know how I'm a Bally guy.
Yeah?
What is better than a starting Bally? And what I have is the Kershaw Lucha. This comes in, I believe, at 124.
Yep.
And this is a great starting Bally for anyone who's starting out in Bali-Songs. The Torx screws, of course, which what everyone really likes. It is Zen pin sandwich construction. You come in with a nice, cool-looking swedge on that blade. I believe it's a Weehawk. And then it's got real nice chamfering and crowning around the tang and around the top of the blade so that it's very soft in hand. It's not something that's just uncomfortable in hand, uncomfortable to flip. I mean... I don't have to say it. These have been selling like hotcakes because they are a great introductory Bally.
Yeah.
But only $124.
Yeah.
So I thought to myself, didn't you do a Benchmade video where you did an honorary mention?
Yes.
You broke your rules?
I did.
Okay, I'm going to pull a TC here. Hey, Greg, can you grab that for me real quick? Alrighty, so sticking to my guns, but going to a higher end Bally, we're looking at the Benchmade 85. And the 85 is billet tie. It's got this real nice, it's not necessarily a spring latch, but it kind of acts as one. You can take it out by removing that Torx screw right there. It just leaves a little circle. You can put it right back in and take the latch off. But this latch, it'll stay in place either way you put it. So you can put it out here, and it'll stay right there. You put it straight because you want to play on the ends of the handles, you're right there. I personally like big pivot screws, so I really like that, and it's tang pin. So you obviously are going to be not having Zen pin, not having necessarily the bounciness of it. This is on bearings, so it is going to move a little bit smoother than with a bushing knife. But I'm also a big fan of the blade. You sit and look at the blade, and you've got this real nice blood groove, as I called it earlier, and it's just very, very smooth, both sides, and you have no play. I mean, for I believe $635 is what this comes in at.
Yeah,
it's great, and it's channel construction, so there is very little maintenance you have to do. You can just pick this up and flip it right away.
Yeah, and I tell you what, that they've outdone themselves on that one, and I really like, and I mentioned this in the Benchmade video, I like that it pays homage to how Benchmade got started as a primarily Bali-Song company, making custom Bali-Songs in the early days there.
That's what a lot of people don't know is the 4X series. Before that, Benchmade, even as Pacific Cutlery, were making Bali-Songs.
Yep.
If you look at the godfathers of Bali-Songs, Les De Assis is one of the, I believe, top 3 people to create Bali-Songs. I think he was the first to actually popularize them with the Benchmade 42. And with this, a lot of people want the 42 back because it was discontinued. I mean, that just tells you how amazing it is. But if you look at the future and what Benchmade is putting out, this is a really good quality Bali-Song.
Yeah.
And I mean, the 42s, the 4X series, they were only on washers, so you're not going to have great tolerances. This has amazing tolerances.
Yeah.
I mean, like I showed, no play, none of the tap a lot of people talk about. The handles don't move up and down. I mean, it's fantastic.
I felt of that one the first time when I did it in that video, that Benchmade video, and I was thoroughly impressed. I mean, that's a really, and of course you mentioned channel construction with the titanium. That really shows a level of fit and finish that takes it to another level.
Oh, yeah. And I mean, titanium's customizable as is. You could strip off that bead blasting and do an anodization. You can play around with it all you want. And Benchmade actually gives great customization options for after you buy a knife if you send it back. And I mean, you can't beat the Benchmade warranty.
Yeah. The
warranty for Benchmade, I mean, you strip a screw and you go, I don't want to strip screw. You contact Benchmade, most times they'll just send you screws.
Yeah.
I mean, the customer service is out of this world. I mean, Smoky obviously has great customer service as well. And I mean, for my high-end pick, I feel like it's just more of like, this is really nice. I want to show it off.
Absolutely. That's a great pick. And that was a nice little surprise right there. I enjoyed that. For my high-end pick, I picked one that I've had my eye on. I can't afford this right now. I would love to, and I want one really bad one day. And they're made in my home state of Alabama. Really? But this one is going to be the McNees custom. This is the Mac PM2. They've also got them in the Mac 3.5, which is a little bit bigger. But I really love these knives. The fit and finish is great. They're all hand fit together, and the quality of parts is amazing. They do a really good job machining these. All the work is done on these in-house. Now, the blade steel does change from time to time. Most of the time, they do CPM 20 CV. Mm-hmm. Recently, they weren't able to get their hands on 20 CV, so they're using like CTS XHP. But it's going to be a blade steel that's equally as good all the time. But just an absolutely wonderful knife. Titanium handles, frame lock, titanium barrel spacers, even titanium on the thumb studs there, the ambi thumb studs, and the action on this thing is insane. This one's coming in at $467 with a 3-inch stainless steel drop point blade right there. And I love reverse flicking this. The only downside to this knife that I've had, and I haven't had an issue with it, but I've seen some people have an issue, is actually pinching the frame lock and having a hard time actually getting it out there. You just have to be careful with where you put your hand in it. I mean, that thing just pops out.
Right. And I'm not necessarily a folder guy. I'm more of a Bali-Song guy, obviously. But I prefer a flipper tab, but that is a really nice button, and especially being titanium, I'm the kind of guy that would just want to anodize and play around with it, make it different colors. And with the barrel spacers in the back, with the scales, I mean, get a satin one of these and just play around with it, customize it every way you want.
Absolutely. And those come in a few different colors too. So we've got like the satin finish one, we've got this bronze finish one, we've got a blue finish one, and we've also got them with the matte blades as well as the satin blade here that you see here. So really dig that thing. It's coming in at $467 and really good for a nice, I would call that absolutely a mid-tech knife. It's from McNees Customs, but it's the closest thing that they do to a mass production. So
I like it a lot.
Well, we've only got one more thing to do. We've got a giveaway. Ooh. So we announced our last giveaway winner earlier. That's Timothy Gray. You won the right. So we announced our last giveaway winner, Timothy Gray, won the Griffin Pocket Tool, and we've got another giveaway. We're teaming up with Honey Badger, and we're going to be giving away a prize package from Honey Badger. But first, before I show you what the prize package is, I'm going to tell you what you got to do. You've got to follow Honey Badger and Smoky Mountain Knife Works on Instagram. You've got to follow both accounts on Instagram, and you have to go comment on the photo. We're going to be posting a photo of everything that is in this prize package from Honey Badger, which includes one of their new Tonto Blade larges. Now, this thing is sick. The action is insane. The orange handles, we picked those out for this giveaway. They just pop. Reversible deep carry pocket clip right there. Stainless steel liners. Loving that Tonto blade. I think it's the best blade shape they've ever created. And an insane action on that thing. It drops closed on its own. And yeah.
I mean, that wasn't even a good flick, and it just right open.
Yeah.
I mean, you personally, someone who just like looks at this, I'm a big Tonto fanboy. Like anything Tonto, I'm on it. And I really like that it's not like an Americanized Tonto. It just has the nice frontal that meets that nice high, almost utility grind on it. Good, nice jimping on the back of the blade so you can really push down, get you some good pressure on anything that you're doing. And then also the texture of the handles with the little Honey Badger on it. The orange, like you said, really pops, and it's like a mirror finish on that.
It's insane.
That's a great giveaway.
And that's not the only thing they're going to be getting.
You're kidding me. They're more?
Also going to be getting a Honey Badger zippered pouch.
That's pretty nice.
Fur-lined zipper pouch. You're also going to be getting a Honey Badger cleaning cloth, which honestly is one of the best cleaning cloths in the business. I've got one on my desk, and that's the only one that I use. I use my Pena one here at the table, but on my desk, I use my Honey Badger cloth over any other one. We've also got a morale patch from Honey Badger that's going to go with that, along with 2 Honey Badger branded hats. One maroon, one black. So you're going to get all of that in the prize package. Like I said, though, all you got to do, you got to follow both accounts on Instagram, Smoky Mountain Knife Works and Honey Badger Official, all right? You got to follow both of those accounts and then go and find the photo that we post of all of this prize package, and you have to comment on that photo, Love and Lovins. Comment on that photo, Love and Lovins. Follow both accounts, and you're going to get entered to win that Honey Badger. Corbin, dude, thank you so much for joining us, brother.
No problem at all. Thanks for having me.
This has been awesome. Absolutely. And great picks. Yeah.
I try.
And you threw me a curveball on that one. I like that.
I got to. I got to keep it up.
Folks, thank you so much. Join us in the comments down below, and thank you for your support. We really appreciate it. And remember, if it cuts like a Honey Badger, then we carry it.
I had my own chair. I could come back. I brought one with me. I promise. You're beautiful.
Quit lying to me, Greg.
You like it when I lie to you.
Lie to me.
Way you lie. I love the way you lie. We're definitely not using Greg's sound effects.
You don't remember?
So.
He can't count to 5. He can't count to 3.